All right, thank you for joining the TV show The Living Room, where we discuss real topics with real people and we just have real conversations. Also, if you feel like there's something you would like to say, you can also go to our Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or our Facebook page, speak your comment. But if you feel like you would like to be on the show and you have something you really want to say, go ahead and send us your video at thelivingroomtvshow.com and we'll go ahead and look at your audition tape. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about a lot of things going on, again, with COVID-19. Mostly with people or companies that we should be thanking. We already went through that last episode in regards to some of the corruption that went on with a lot of these large corporations in our a few opinions regarding them taking small business loans. But I want to know, what do you guys think? What companies should really be thanked? What companies have really stepped up and has really put their best foot forward to make sure that Americans are either eating or getting the services that they need?
I can speak to that. I think one of the essential workers that we kind of take for granted are the farm workers who are farming the fields still. They might not have the right equipment to go through the whole pandemic, COVID-19 protective gear, whatnot. So I think those are the people who we should really be thanking and maybe giving them more than a thank you. I think those companies that are hiring them are not doing their best to compensate them for working through the pandemic. Needless to say, a lot of the controversy about these immigrants that were coming in, working in the fields, were being, harassed or called names so on by other people, by Americans, saying that they were taking jobs that, quite frankly, no other American would be remotely willing or able to do. So I think that those people they deserve much consideration and more than a thank you.
I'd like to see, just kind of to piggyback on that, I think I would like to see them get either free healthcare or additional perks or benefits that they may not already be getting, to really compensate the value that they bring and that they have brought. Because right now there are heroes. Like, I'm vegan, so all I eat is veggies, and I'm so grateful that every time I go to the store, that's the one thing that's fully stocked all the time. So I think they need to be compensated more and added incentives as well, because what they're doing, back to Wesley's point, not a lot of people would take on that job.
You know what's funny? I think that a lot of Americans, especially a lot, and that is said to say a lot of racist Americans that have something to say about, especially the Hispanic culture or people that they consider like less than, like Black people. You should be very thankful, because without a lot of the Hispanic population working in the fields, I don't know one white person that's going to go in the field and pick some grapes. I have not met one. That's not what they want to do. They want corporate office jobs, getting yachts and things of that nature, Ferraris, and they want those type of positions. You don't see them wanting to work in the fields or do things like that. And these same people, and I know a lot of them personally, they'll sit here and say, oh, that person's a drug dealer. I'm like, but you don't even know that person. That person's working very hard in the fields. They're the ones that's keeping these grocery stores open. They're the ones that's helping with all these shipments. And I said, I think I need to be a lot careful who y'all speak about, because a lot of these celebrities, a lot of their stock, in my opinion, went down. You don't see no concert halls open, no new movies coming out. You can't go to the theaters. You can't go to nothing. I said, so at the end of the day, I said the people that should be the superstars of this pandemic is the essential workers. And a lot of people need to understand what an essential worker is. I think a lot of people don't know the full definition of an essential worker or what they actually do. But another thing that gets to me is that when you have, public figures like Jeff Bezos, which I want to share just a small clip with you guys real quick, or just a link. But you have, multi-billionaires like Jeff Bezos, and he was roasted by a few people on Twitter recently because he was sitting here asking regular people who have no money, who don't make $100,000 plus a year or whatever, to donate. And I'm like, well, how do you expect somebody to donate when you're worth almost $60 billion? You're richer than everybody else almost in the world. And you mean to tell me that if he can donate 80% of his money, and still be wealthy. That's what I don't think people are understanding. And some people commented, like Quentin Reviews from Twitter, he said Jeff Bezos makes $9 million every hour. He can take an evening nap and make more than you in your entire life. Amazon hasn't paid federal taxes in years, but he wants you to donate so Amazon workers can take sick leave. $9 million an hour, that is a lot of damn money. I don't know who's making that. I said that's better than lottery odds. Okay, so that's a lot of money right there. Don't pay any federal taxes, and that's not the only company. Facebook has been called out for it. Google has been called. A lot of these big companies have been called out about it. Neil's another person. He said, "Hey, at Jeff Bezos and Amazon, how about you take care of your own employees, including delivery drivers? This relief fund is very bad form." Anthony Clark from Twitter as well. Reminder: the world's richest man, Jeff Bezos, is asking the non-rich public to donate to Amazon's relief fund to help his working class employees. When you're asking, people to do this and you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars, that's a problem. And I think that, we have a lot of people in this society that's just clueless. So what did y'all take on these rich billionaires that's not only not putting, their money up to help the economy that they're taking from, but, they're asking other people to donate for them.
I think it's crazy. I mean, just to even read Jeff Bezos even mention something like that, it makes you kind of like, get that squint eye, like, really? You know what I mean? But it's not surprising because every time you see like rich millionaires and stuff and they take their platform to do good, they always rally up money from the poor, which that never made sense to me and probably will never make sense. But
I mean, look at it in the way of a church. You know what I mean? They take the money from the poor, and they've never given anything back. Just this, what we're going through right now with COVID-19, what church has donated anything remotely to the people who have been given to them? So it's, Bezos is a good business person. I think that he's used the system to make himself wealthier, but it's not his fault. It's the system that's allowing him to not be able to pay taxes and not give back to the community. But at the end of the day, he has some stakeholders, maybe, or a board of directors that are really directing or, driving him to put this statement out or create this fund. But the comment from the other person saying you need to take care of your own employees, like, why do we have to fork the bill? Like, that's not right.
Especially if you're worth billion.
Right.
And do you have a comment?
I was just gonna say, I definitely don't agree. I think Jeff Bezos needs to do a better job, right? He's the richest man in the world. So the fact that even came out, Amazon was one of the companies that's hiring the most, especially during this pandemic. So if I just don't know that I don't know even if I believe that to be a true story, that Amazon did that and asked for donations. I almost feel like that's not true, because then they wouldn't have advertised that they're looking to hire 100,000 new people to kind of help with the overflow of requests from this pandemic. So I don't know that I believe that that's real. But if it is, shame on Jeff Bezos, right? He obviously more than has the money to be able to pay for that. But more my concern is, back to the essential workers, like, how do we thank them properly? A blanket thank you, I don't think is enough. So what does that mean, and what does that look like for them? Because thank God for my grocery store people, like keeping everything stocked and helping me find, beans, because I needed some and they were like in the back. So it's just, these people are really on the front lines. My brother's a nurse. I have a friend that's a doctor. Like, they're really putting their lives on the line. And I don't know that we're compensating essential workers properly. Janitorial staff, they're sanitizing everything. Bus drivers that are carrying essential workers to and from work. How are we compensating them properly and protecting them better? Because they're the ones that are day in, day out, going out there and struggling for us to stay home. So what does that look like? What is it? Just a thank you? Is it more money? Is it a bonus? Is it more vacation time? Is it free health?
Better health insurance, about that?
Yeah, I don't think these people have health insurance. Farm workers, like, do they have health insurance? If so, what does that look like? Is it 50% paid? Do their employers pay for it fully, or does the government subsidize it? You know, it's backbreaking work, quite literally. You know, like I live in LA, so I drive up the, what is it, the 5, and I see people, or the 101, cherry picking or strawberry picking, and they're on their knees and on their that's like terrible for their back in the burning sun. Like, I would imagine, you know, they would need more than anyone access to healthcare that is accessible and free. So
Well, just want to say something, and as reading the article, of the articles regarding Jeff Bezos and other billionaires, Jeff Bezos notified a few newspaper articles that that was not the case. His message was taken out of context, which we hear a lot when what goes on. So that's why I always tell people, just be careful what newspaper articles you actually talk to, or what you actually say. You have something to say to the public, especially when this comes regarding COVID-19 or anything. Just go ahead and get your own little channel, or go on your Instagram and say it yourself. That way we can hear it from the horse's mouth. Just like we hear from Trump, you know, we know that he said that, and nobody else told him to say it. He said it from his mouth.
you mean
That
the
way,
thing that he says and then takes back?
yeah, the same thing he takes back. But that way we can hear from the horse's mouth, because a lot of times people say that they talk to these magazines and articles, and they say, oh, I didn't say that, it was taken out of context. But I'm like, I wasn't in the room. The newspaper wasn't in the room, but the magazine you spoke to, it was just you and them. So we don't know who to believe, you or them. And that's the thing. I always tell people, you have something to say about it, don't go around the bush to say it to somebody's face and tell them directly. In addition to that, we're also going to be speaking about, you know, we always have our segment of the day where we discuss a lot of either small businesses or just businesses in general. We give them ratings or service reviews. And today we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Urban League. And we also have somebody here, Colleen, that will be speaking about them. And I will give the floor to you, Colleen.
Yes, thank you. So I personally work for Los Angeles Urban League, and it's a nonprofit organization that empowers and helps the African American community and other communities of color to be reliable or self-sufficient, if that's a word, financially sustainable, if you will, without having to depend on government help. So they have programs that help you find jobs, that do job training. One of the biggest ones now here is helping small businesses with the COVID-19 pandemic, giving them information, having webinars on how to apply and how to submit their paperwork. So, you know, Los Angeles Urban League is an affiliate of the National Urban League, and it's all through the United States. But yeah, I think it's a great organization that anyone that is in need of job training and any other social justice, they can reach out to them, and they'll find a way to assist you.
And is this only for minority-owned businesses or people, or what?
No, that's what they focus on, but anyone can reach out.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for presenting the Los Angeles Urban League. If you have any, if you're interested in learning more about the Los Angeles Urban League, you can also go to their website, which is right here, www.laul.org. And you can just go check them out and see what they are about. Closing out the show, we are going to have Annie present her video or photo of the day.
I have it on my phone, so hold on. Is this one? Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The older I get, the more I realize no one has an idea what they are doing, and everyone is just pretending. Am I right?
That's
I
hilarious.
think that's happening.
Yeah.
I think that's
All right.
true.
Well,
Especially in the government right now. Everybody.
Especially.
Yeah. Well, that's as a business owner, sometimes you have to just go with the flow too, you know, because there's never a dull moment. You just have to, you know, figure out as you go.
Yeah, that's true.
well, I guess this concludes our episode of the Living Room today. So thank y'all for tuning in, and we will speak to y'all again.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi, thanks for watching The Living Room. If you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook pages. In addition to that, if you feel like you would like to be a co-host on our show, please make sure to submit your audition tape to thelivingroomtvshow.com, or you can also submit it on one of our social media pages. In addition to that, make sure to submit your audition tape and the reason why you would like to be on our show. We'll see you next episode. Have a good day. This episode of The Living Room is sponsored by Juiced Up, Way Smoothies on the Go. Juiced Up is a California-based company that offers smoothies and acai bowls on the go. The company accepts deliveries, and you can place your order by going to their Instagram page at JuicedUpAF, or for more information regarding the products, you can go to their website at www.juicedupaf.com.